Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Levi.
And unfortunately, Brad's not here today. He's dealing with some personal stuff. So it's just going to be Levi and I today. I promise I won't dominate the conversation about wrestling.
Which, I mean, we can start there if you want.
We can start.
The wonderful Roman Reigns won.
Yeah. Roman Reigns won the Men's Royal Rumble. Not somebody I would have picked, but I understand from a storytelling standpoint why they had to do it.
I haven't seen him much in clips or
He's
the
not,
side that I've seen. And also, he's filming Street Fighter. I was really surprised.
They're done with that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was still filming.
Yeah, they're done with that. And he is obviously slowing down because he's not like Cody. Cody still shows up every week, even though he was filming Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I think Roman definitely wants to be in Hollywood. I don't think the only movie that he was filming was Street Fighter, but he's been gone for a little bit. And now he's back, and I get why they did what they did. They had him win because he's going to challenge CM Punk, and I mean, it's the obvious choice. He's going to challenge CM Punk. Which means that somehow at the Elimination Chamber, there will be a fucked up finish to the chamber match, which will determine whoever wrestles Drew McIntyre. There will be a fucked up finish, and both Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu will probably wrestle Drew McIntyre, because that's the other main event that I thought we were going to get, was a triple threat between those three guys. I thought that they would finally give a new star a Royal Rumble win in Jacob Fatu, and then have Cody kind of weasel his way in, and then have Roman or somebody win Elimination Chamber to fight Punk. They did it the opposite way, and that's fine, I guess, other than I think it was a huge missed opportunity to elevate a newer star that you were already going to put in the main event anyway. If you were going to put Jacob Fatu in the main event anyway, which I think they're going to do, I hope they do, you could have really put a feather in his cap by having him win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. And they didn't, which, it is what it is. Liv Morgan won the Women's Royal Rumble, which makes total sense. I really didn't do a whole lot of thinking or talking about the Women's Royal Rumble leading up to the event, but I was glad to see Liv win it and not... again, Liv's finished second twice and third once, so her finally winning is a good thing. I don't have any issues with Liv winning. The Arab did not win his match. He got his ass handed to him.
That honestly surprises
me. Drew
me.
McIntyre beat Sami Zayn and kept his world title, which I figured he would. But yeah, he won. And then, in what I can only call was the greatest thing I've ever seen, the career killer Gunther retired AJ Styles.
I saw that.
I get it. A lot of people love AJ. AJ was an indie darling, and then he was like that second-rate company, TNA. I say that with love. I enjoy TNA way more than I do AEW. Fuck those guys.
I know that.
But AJ was the king of TNA for the longest time ever. And but he said that 2026 was going to be his last year. Now, did he say that the first month of 2026 was good? No. But Gunther beating him is like, now it's just who's next. Like, yeah. Now it's just like, I'm kind of fingers crossed, hoping that finally 52-year-old Rey Mysterio gets maybe retired by Gunther at WrestleMania. Like, that would be something that they could do.
I'm on Reddit, not to sidetrack, But someone had made a comment talking about AJ Styles and Gunther's match. They were like, ref calling the match looking like he was in tears had like added to the moment. And someone commented underneath, they were like, that's the same referee that was reffing with him back in TNA. For all we know, those were real fucking tears.
Yeah, no, there was some real emotion for sure, and he did
Rudy
not.
Charles is his name.
He did not. He did not leave his boots and his gloves in the middle of the ring, which, they made it a point.
I was gonna say, isn't he continuing his career just outside
They
of the
made
WWE?
they made it a point to keep saying that this is the end of his WWE career. So I hope that means he's going to TNA, the house that AJ built. I mean, AJ built TNA. AJ was.
I was gonna say that's what I see everyone saying.
Major signing. He was their first, like, no, I don't want to say real world champion, but he elevated the X Division belt. He elevated the TNA World Title. He put on just 5-star after 5-star after 5-star, if that's what you want to call him. I hate calling him that because I think Dave Metzler's a fucking con artist. But he put on like just historic match after historic match. I'll use that instead. And in TNA, and then went to New Japan and then WWE. I hope he goes to TNA. If he goes to AEW, it'll be a shame because I'll never watch him wrestle again because I won't watch AEW because their product's complete and utter garbage. So that'll be a shame, but it is what it is. I hope it doesn't mean the complete end of AJ, but I do think it means the end of AJ in WWE. I think he'll be in. I hope he'll be in TNA. I'll watch him there.
Do you have the same sentiment as this Reddit commenter? I need Gunther to stop hugging my favorite wrestlers to death.
Yeah. I was waiting.
I was gonna say I know you enjoy it, but
if you could have seen me in the store yesterday with Nate and Pro. We were watching the match, and I was waiting for AJ to smile, like John Cena.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the John Cena smile. But when he lifted his arm and it fell, and the ref had tears in his eyes and called for the bell, I flipped my shit. I was so fucking happy that they had done that, and people are gonna. I get it. I've seen it on the net that this isn't how it should have ended, and AJ and blah blah blah. And I get it. I understand it. But to give Gunther this sort of push to make him the center of your company at this point, to me, Gunther is the center of your company. He's the biggest heel in the company. He might even be the biggest heel in wrestling right now. And he just, in back-to-back months, I could give two shits about Goldberg because he's another guy that fucking sucked ass. But to retire two of your biggest faces back-to-back months, it's fucking great. It's great. That's all there is to it. Gunther, I hope they continue with it. They've trademarked Career Killer as his new moniker.
Really?
They filed a trademark for it. So that's what I mean. I don't think we're done here. Folks, you better hold on if you hated this, wait until he destroys Rey Mysterio and then wait for the big one, because in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in his hometown, he is going to retire Brock Lesnar. He is going to put the beast to sleep, and that will be a glorious day for everyone.
Oh yeah.
He will not slay the beast. He will not conquer the beast. He will not eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. He will put that big steroid monkeyed ass to sleep. And I am here for it all. I just trying to figure out who he's going to retire in between all those, because I want it to keep going. I want Rey Mysterio's head on a platter. LA Knight's not getting any younger. Maybe we could see him retire him. I don't know, but I'm just Maybe he can go to Mexico and retire some of them old fuckers. Like, I'm just ready for him to just start ending, just keep continuing ending people. I'm here for it all.
So I have bad news for AJ Styles fans. Apparently, Triple H came out in the post show and said he is not That was his final match. Period. He is not wrestling anywhere else. Styles told Triple H that he was not planning to go anywhere else. He was done. Yeah. Triple H said in the post interview that he had spoken with Styles, and the 3-time WWE champion had told him that beyond a shadow of a doubt, he does not intend on going anywhere to wrestle ever.
It's weird, though, that he didn't put his gloves in his...
That's kind of my thought, especially with them, like you said, making an emphasis on the WWE career is over.
Yeah, it's weird because Undertaker and Triple H and Shawn Michaels all left their gear in the ring, their boots. It's John Cena left his boots in the middle of his Skechers in the middle of the ring. So for that, I guess that was odd for me to see that.
But I was going to say, this same article also ends with them saying, we're pretty sure he's going to be going to NXT next. So I don't know what the fuck they're trying to say. It doesn't give a clip of Triple H saying anything, so I will say that.
I could totally see, and this was my first thought after it happened. Was Gunther coming out and AJ Styles coming out and going, "Hey, you didn't beat me. You made me pass out. Like, you didn't actually pin me and I didn't tap out." So, like, and then trying to goad Gunther into another match. And maybe they have like a Las Vegas street fight at WrestleMania.
That would
and
be
maybe
funny.
that is the final match. Maybe it's an unsanctioned WWE unsanctioned street fight.
I would like that.
Where it is in fact AJ Styles' last match. But who knows? It could have been his last match. It could not have been. I could care less. All I know is that Gunther got his hand raised and the career killer is still intact. And all I want to know in the next couple of weeks is what career is he killing next? Because he just lined those motherfuckers up and just letting him keep knocking them down. I'm ready for it. Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, Jericho's got to come back for one last run. Gunther can end his ass too. You know. Maybe his thing for Chris Jericho would be, I'm gonna choke you out so hard you're not gonna be able to sing for Fozzy anymore. But anyway, that was my thing with wrestling. It was good. It was good. Powerhouse Hobbs, now known as Royce Keys, made his debut. He's an AEW talent that came over to WWE. He was one of AEW's, I don't want to say originals, but he had been there a long time. Pretty close to the get-go, if not from the get-go. And I guess they offered him a significant deal, and he was just done. Which, to me, even with all of these people saying all this bad shit about WWE and AEW, I think the AEW people are more trolls than WWE people. And I think it just shows that, like, sometimes it's not the money. Sometimes it's just, it's part of the, it's the company you work for. It's the company you work for and the company you keep. So, with that being said, they had 2 El Grande Americanos come out last night. They had
the original one back?
The current El Grande Americano, and then they had the original El Grande Americano. Actually, it might even have just been called Original Americano, but I think it was original. Yeah, so Chad Gable was back last night. So we had a Spider-Man moment We had a
Jesus.
Spider-Man meme moment between the two El Grande Americanos. That was a hoot. They brought out Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana.
Yeah, he's a luchador from AAA. They brought out La Parka. La Parka actually did really well last night. He's a guy that has the wrestling. He's a character, and he's a character that I think has crossover ability if they play him right. But man, they got to play him right. They got to bring him in and let him squash some people, and then get him in like a mid-card title hunt, and I think he can be serviceable for the company. He'll never be world champion or nothing, but I think he could be a usable character.
Is this why I saw on Facebook a picture of all of the luchadors sitting around a table and then Ron Cena holding his face to cover?
So it's funny because Rey Mysterio took a photo at the airport of all the luchadors, not all the luchadors, but him, Penta, Dragon Lee, and Rey Fenix. They all flew from wherever they were at. They all flew together to. Well, when he took the selfie, none of them had their mask on because they were on the airplane. So he took the picture, but they all covered their faces. So everybody that took a photo with them
covered faces.
So Ron Cena did it first, but then the New Day and Sami Zayn took a picture in that same like booth or whatever, and they all covered their face. Like
I love that.
Like Xavier Woods like covered everything but his eyes, and it's like everybody. He's still got the giant afro, but covered everything. But yeah, so but yeah, that was the only disappointing part about last night was. Really would have loved to have seen Ron Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't get to see Ron Cena. He didn't even come out as R-Truth. Like, he didn't come out at all.
Didn't even come out.
He didn't come out at all. Somebody said, terrible booking by Triple H. Kit Wilson is the new big thing on SmackDown, which I will argue he's not. He's got a very... He's the current Joe Hendry of WWE SmackDown. He's got a really catchy song that people enjoy, and people are cheering for him. He's gotten over. His song and his attitude over this last, 2 or 3 weeks, just here recently, have gotten him over. He's very over with the crowd. I won't argue that. I won't fight that. I think he's a halfway decent wrestler, so I think his ability can keep him there. He reminds me of a lot of a young Shawn Michaels. And they were like, Triple H didn't even put him in the Royal Rumble. I will argue that if you've got a guy that is only 2 or 3 weeks into what seems like getting over, the last thing you want to do is put him in the Royal Rumble with arguably 20 of your biggest stars and have him get fucking
squashed. Like nothing.
Yeah, because that was my only complaint about Royce Keys, formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs, last night, was that he came into big fanfare. He kind of got knocked out. It was underwhelming. Brock Lesnar got knocked out last night during Jey Uso's entrance. Like, it was like they quietly eliminated Brock Lesnar. I don't know if it was to keep the mystique of Brock Lesnar, that nobody would just notice that he got taken out by LA Knight and Cody Rhodes double clotheslining him over the top rope. Like, it was completely a dramatic.
I was going to say, I get it, but at the same time,
the camera wasn't even really on them when he got taken out. And I wonder if that was on purpose because they knew Lesnar wasn't winning. They had to get him out of the ring. They didn't want to make a big deal about him getting eliminated. So it's like, okay, here's all the focus on Jey Uso. Hurry up, get Brock out of the ring. And nobody will notice. And everybody will be like, where's Brock at?
Which I get, but my brain goes to just thinking of the little bits of Royal Rumbles I've watched. we've always had the fucking monster that comes running in, throws 12 guys out or however many. And then as people come in, you get another big guy defending, and then you get 3 or 4 guys and they all team up, throw them over. And then they literally, I can think of it many times where people would throw, like 3 or 4 guys would team up to throw a big guy over and then all stare at each other like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah, there was an Obafemi Brock Lesnar face-off last night, which was very cool. And Brock Lesnar got the best of Oba, and then Oba kind of sort of got the best of Lesnar. And they were both still in the ring. Did Lesnar throw Oba out? He might have thrown Oba out. Yes, he did. He tossed him over the top rope when Oba turned his back on him to throw somebody else out, like Logan Paul or somebody. So Lesnar eliminated Oba. But then, like I said, like at that point, it was like Wade Barrett's like, oh my God, Brock Lesnar's just going to clean house. And then next thing you know, we spend 3 minutes yeeting, and when we get back, Brock Lesnar's gone. Like, to no fanfare at all, he gets eliminated by LA Knight and Cody Rhodes. And it's just like nobody even notices. And I'm just like, okay. You know, so I don't know if we'll see Brock back. I don't know if that was like the Saudis were like, hey, we're going to give you $200 million if you bring Royal Rumble over here, but we'll give you 250 if you bring Brock with you. I don't know. Like, right. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where I'm sure that when they signed the contract with Saudi Arabia, there was a list of wrestlers they were required to bring with them. Brock was probably on that list. And so, but they knew that Brock wasn't winning, so they needed to bring him into big fanfare and get him out of the ring as quietly as possible.
So I saw a clip, and I saw it last night also. Did they reveal who that fucking masked dude in all black?
Fuck no.
No, still?
Fuck no.
I saw the clip.
Blake sent me a message last night and was like, okay, I'm sick of these whole fucking the masked dudes attacking people. This is like the 5th time they've done this in like the last, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, no, they did not reveal. So
I was just assuming but didn't know because I saw the clip last night and then saw that Roman won, and I was like, are they going to make that the reveal that Roman was the fucking masked dude?
No.
I'm glad they didn't.
I got to believe that it's Seth Rollins.
I was going to say he does the curb stomp. He did the head stomp last night.
Yeah, I got to believe that it's Seth Rollins because was it Seth Rollins underneath the mask? I don't know. When they reveal it to be Seth Rollins, I think it will be because he's got to get Braun back. So it makes sense for WrestleMania, for Braun's match at WrestleMania to be against Seth. They've obviously at some point decided Braun Breaker was not ready to headline WrestleMania. So at that point, it was probably like, okay, when does Seth come back? Is Seth going to come back in time that we can have Seth fight Braun, and then we'll have Roman win the Royal Rumble, and he'll take Breaker's spot against Punk at WrestleMania because Reigns versus Punk is a bigger draw than Breaker versus Punk. I mean, at some point, they had to have decided that. So, plus, if you bring Seth back and Breaker wins, then you elevate Breaker. I don't think Breaker had or has enough wins yet under his belt to be a legitimate contender. Like, even though he fought Punk and it was a pretty decent match, I still don't think he's believable in beating CM Punk. He needs that marquee win to be.
That makes sense.
To be in that spotlight. But yeah, so that's my wrestling get-go for. I don't know where anybody else is going to end up. I would suppose that Liv Morgan. What I hope they don't do with Liv Morgan, I will be mad as fuck if they do this with Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan will pick Stephanie Valkyrie to be her opponent, which is the women's champion on Raw. Problem is Stephanie and Raquel Rodriguez face each other tomorrow night on Monday. On Monday, it'd be tonight if you're listening on Monday. For the women's title in Philadelphia, I do not like Raquel Rodriguez. I don't like her character. I don't like how she wrestles. Having Liv turn on her does not make her a face. I hope they don't put the belt on Raquel and make Raquel versus Liv the main event at WrestleMania, because that match will be awful because Raquel is terrible. So
I don't think I know who Raquel is.
Raquel is getting better, but an awful wrestler. Like, she's not good at selling, and she's too big. Not Nia Jax big. Nia Jax is a bigger girl, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it means that when she has to take a move, she has to physically put herself in an awkward position to take that move so that way it looks right, which makes it look unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for Nia Jax to be doing like what looks like a half cartwheel before somebody even does a move to her so that they can pull off whatever move they're doing.
Right.
Raquel Rodriguez isn't a bigger girl, but she's taller than everybody else. So when she's fighting somebody that she's a foot taller than, like she's 6'1" and Liv is 5'2", it means that when Liv goes to do a move and it involves Raquel's head, Raquel has to lean down, which makes it look bad. It makes it look bad. Yeah. So when she's fighting people that are smaller than her, it looks bad. The other issue, but when she's fighting people that are big like she is, hence Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Lash Legend in the Royal Rumble last night, she doesn't look terrible. She's not adapted. She's just not good at wrestling smaller wrestlers, which she should be, because big men. And this gets into the whole men-women wrestling thing. Rey Mysterio can fight at 5'2". Rey Mysterio can fight a 7-foot guy because he can jump from the mat to the top of that guy's head without that guy leaning down.
I was just saying,
Liv Morgan,
great con.
Liv Morgan cannot, and that's just her limitation. Are there women out there that probably could? Probably. Liv Morgan's not one of them. A few of the other smaller girls, Asuka, Roxanne Perez, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, they just can't. They can't jump that high. So the moves look bad. The moves just look bad. And they're not as strong as some of the other, they're not as strong. So Raquel's got to get herself into position and give herself a little more of a kickoff, or give herself a little more of a push off, because for Liv Morgan to try to pick her up, Raquel's got to help her a lot. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. And Raquel looks sloppy when she's fighting smaller girls. So that's on my soapbox for women's wrestlers. By the way, I love the women wrestlers, and I think they're great, and I think they're fantastic, and in no way, shape, or form does this convey that I think they're horrible at what they do.
I know that, and I know we all know that, but it is great to make sure you put that opinion. So we all know how the internet can be.
Yeah. So there we go. Do you want to discuss Fallout now?
I was gonna say,
where are we at time wise? We halfway through?
Yeah, half hour.
Okay, perfect. So then we can get Fallout time in. Okay, so unlike past episodes, I watched this one twice.
Yes. And I know your big fucking question. Your only big question.
My only big question, because I watched it twice, and even watching it the first time, I understood everything that was going on. With the exception of what the fuck is that guy turning in? What's his name?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. What the fuck is Thaddeus turning into?
So it is a centaur.
Okay. It is a centaur.
We don't know for a fact, but since he is showing the same mutations as a super mutant would, centaurs are made from the same thing as super mutants. I'm still trying to look in and figure out what makes someone turn into one and not the other. But this is what it looks like. That thing on the right? Oh, hold on.
I got it. This is the stunned look of...
That's what
the fuck am I looking at?
So this is the new version of them in the game. That on the left is what they used to look like in the first Fallout in 1 and 2.
So does the internet think that that's what he's turning into, or just you?
Everybody thinks that's what he's turning into, because this is the only mutant that we really know of that has no arms. And the fact that it just necrotically fell off, and
it was very humorous to watch his arm fall off.
Let me see if I can't get this to zoom in. That probably didn't help too much. But you can see it looks like the bones and the skin and everything just kind of rotted off of his arm. And if you saw, that's what his arm looked like. So people are just kind of taking clues and putting them together.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not confirmed. We don't know that for a fact.
All right. But I like I said, I was not confused about anything else. Obviously, I don't know the Fallout lore like you guys like you guys do. So like them, like I can only imagine the United States must have invaded Canada.
We annexed them.
I think that's been discussed on the podcast.
Yeah,
before.
I was just saying. I can look to see what annex means.
But Canadians couldn't come into the United States without paperwork?
Yeah, you still had to have a passport. So Canadians, and I know I've mentioned this before, they were second-class citizens when we annexed them. We made them lower than us. Hence why Steph was an internment camp.
But you can't just go in and annex. We would have had to have conquered them and
I was just saying,
ours.
That's what I'm looking to find the details of. Because every time it's really mentioned in the show or the game or on YouTube, most people just say, they were annexed. We had to have went in and like overtaken them and then just said, oh yeah, by the way, you are now part of the United States. We call them Little America or the Big 51st.
Okay.
As in the Big 51st state. But, it is. I don't disagree that we had to have went in with some kind of force, especially with making them a second-class citizen. And I don't want to say we rounded up every Canadian, because I don't know exactly how it worked. Because obviously, they just asked for a passport when she went to walk across. But we also know that they didn't just round up criminals and shit. They rounded up just random people.
Yeah, it was weird that they were in a camp, but she got away and she gets to the border and that guy doesn't have any problem with her crossing at all. It's just like, hey, can I see your passport? Like, I mean, he wasn't going to do anything at all. Just, hey, you pretty young thing, can I see your passport? You know, and it was, and obviously her mother, that was her mother.
Yes.
Her mother.
A lot of people thought it was her sister, but she straight up says, I raised you Catholic.
Yeah, so her mother, obviously told her, don't look at them as humans, they're Americans.
Yes.
So they obviously, whatever part of Canada they were in, they hated the United States. So I liked seeing that whole entire backstory. I thought it was hysterical.
To give you a little, not to sidetrack you, very quickly, with all the resource war going on between us and China, we had the Alaskan pipeline pumping oil. Because we owned the pipe, we had U.S. troops stationed in Canada that had tensions rising. Someone sabotaged the pipeline. It's never discussed who. Most people believe America did it to then annex Canada. That started because they sabotaged. America blamed them for the pipeline being sabotaged. So they just went ahead and started the annexation, which caused Canadians to start to rebel against America. And that's when they started just rounding them up.
Ah, okay. All right. I did enjoy that during the wedding when he's like, she's Canadian. And they were like, oh my God.
Yes, I loved that.
Like, I thought that was humorous.
And I enjoyed that they did that because I did see some people online being like, hey, why are they giving a shit that she's Canadian? They were raised by Vault-Tec as a management branch with meritocracy in mind. America first, everything America believed in. No shit, they fucking want to kill her now.
Yeah. No, they were raised with whatever Vault-Tec determined they would be taught. I mean, that's what it is. And I'm sure it is a very
So this is one of the memes, by the way, I was telling you about earlier with people making South Park jokes with her being Canadian. I've seen some people use AI to actually animate that little drawing. But I'm glad that they gave us more of her backstory. I think she definitely plays a larger role. I don't think she's going to die here. They wouldn't have started to give the backstory if she's going to die next episode. Because a lot of people are guessing that, she either escapes the vault or dies. And you wouldn't know this, but every overseer has a secret tunnel in their office straight out the vault. Well, straight to the vault entrance.
Would she know that, though? That's not being an overseer and not being able to access her computer.
Well, she is overseer, so they are. When you're given overseer, there's a bunch of books and shit and manuals and stuff. But and they didn't give us good explanation or information on this. She couldn't communicate to the other vaults. We don't know if she couldn't access her own stuff.
Oh. Yeah,
because what it was popping up and failing was inter-vault communication.
I wouldn't think she'd be able to escape or have all that information because I don't believe that she would have been privy to all of the Vault-Tec stuff that a normal... I almost look at her as a fake overseer. Like, I get it, she's an overseer, but... not having the access or the knowledge that she needed when she got into her office to do her different stuff, just having bits and pieces of what I can only imagine Hank told her.
And I think we're going to find out, and this is just theory at this point, and I'm not necessarily believing it because it's a little outlandish. I think Hank and Steph had a relationship of some kind, whether it was actual romantic or just a working relationship. The internet is running with the theory that Lucy is going to be a pre-war baby. She was frozen as a baby, and that Steph is her mom. I doubt that. I could
definitely see. I could see that, but
I don't personally. Like, I could see if her and Hank had a relationship, her wanting to be like a mom, especially since Lucy's mom wasn't there.
Yeah,
but I don't. Just in the vast differences between the two of them. Granted, we see through Steph's backstory why she is so ruthless and almost sociopathic with not giving a fuck about who she hurts.
But that's the whole nature nurture thing.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, if Lucy's mom just raised her to be a good person, then yeah, I mean, I totally get that, but I could see that. I could see that jumping off the page as a theory for sure. For sure. So explain to me this. Why, I guess not why. What are your thoughts on, because I don't have any, because I don't know the story. What do you think, what do you think the ghoul is going to like? Why is House so essential to what the ghoul wants to do?
The ghoul wants his family back.
Right, but how? Like
House worked with.
so he turned House back on because he wants House to help him get into the Vault-Tec vault
Yes.
that's underneath.
Yes,
Right,
and my
okay.
my new theory, I know I talked about it, whether it was last podcast or a couple podcasts ago, that I thought Hank was in a different part of Vault 21. I'm starting to think it might be attached to the Lucky 38.
In the basement of the Lucky 38.
That's what
or
I'm
something.
starting to think, because that would explain also why they were, or how they were able to work so closely together with also no one realizing Vault-Tec was as, I won't say married to Robco, but married to Robert House. Like, they were working one with another, so much so that, I mean, he was going to just give the, what do they call it, a better man, the brain control device for Cold Fusion. Like, they were just going to be trading products, something most of those companies didn't do. They fought and killed for those.
Right. Yeah.
But so I think that's why he's waking House, is either to be like, hey, motherfucker, tell me where this vault is, or hey, motherfucker, unlock the door.
I think I think he woke up House to tell him both.
Well, yeah.
I think he woke up House to be like, okay, I know they're in a vault and I know they're in this town. I need to know where it's at and how do I get in. Like, and of course he's gonna have to cut a deal with House.
The House always wins.
Because the House always wins. So he's gonna have to cut a deal with House.
My curiosity is if they're going to address that Securitron that was laying next to him, laying next to the computer.
Yeah, I did notice that.
The internet's running wild right now because it's either Victor, or well, not Victor, but a different Securitron. Maybe that Victor was using, because kind of like House, Victor can just jump to different Securitrons. Or Yes Man, who was a rogue Securitron that the guy that shot you in New Vegas to start the game, he reprogrammed because he was going to take the Platinum chip, put it into Yes Man, and basically take over from Mr. House and run Vegas himself. So people are theorizing that it was Yes Man's body. They're theorizing that that Todd Howard has chose the storyline of the Courier 1. He chose to run Vegas himself using Yes Man. But in the game, they mentioned that Yes Man finds files and programs that Mr. House had for the Securitrons or for the electronics of the of the strip, shit like that. People are theorizing that when Yes Man started using those files or uploading them to the database, it had a backup of Mr. House, so the House always won in the end.
Okay.
Essentially, people are thinking they kind of mixed some of the endings together. And yes, there is one, but by their being mixed together, it's multiple endings still.
Okay.
Technically, I guess, an ending that you can't access.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
I'll just say, I know that has nothing to do with the story right now, but...
Yeah, but they're definitely they're definitely going to keep going because the show is good, that is no doubt, and it's.
I was just say they're already started on season 3.
I did see the preview for the next episode. Macaulay Culkin's in it.
Yes, I think he's going to be shown to be Caesar. He won. His side won. That's just my theory. The other thing, and I said it to Kyla, and I know trailers are cut to do this on purpose. I really think that safe keep box that Steph wanted from Hank, or from Betty that was Hank's, I think that's going to have some kind of prototype version of the mind control device. Because Hank was so obsessed with it. Even back we see when Robert House...
I thought it was the gun. I think it's going to be the cold fusion gun. The transport gun.
They don't have cold fusion.
I think they got it in the little vials, right?
Yeah. She'd have to have her Gek, too. They don't just have...
What if she's got cold fusion?
She doesn't. We know she doesn't.
What if she does?
We know she doesn't. We know that every vault has a cold fusion device that they're using.
But what if she injected herself with it?
She couldn't have. The vault has energy and power. How could she take what gives them power, put it in, take it out of the device that is powering everything, and put it in her neck, and then still have power in the vault?
But what if she did it pre-vault? What if they injected? What if she know? What if? No, this is gonna sound stupid. Don't yell
I'm
at
gonna
me.
tell you it is stupid.
Don't yell at me. What if they injected her before they froze her?
They would have no reason to. Like I said, not only is every vault powered with cold fusion, but inside of their Garden of Eden creation kit, or the Gek, they have cold fusion.
Oh.
There's cold fusion all over that fucking place. That's one of the other things I don't get with Moldaver and the whole start of, like, if we want to go back to season 1. She was all obsessed with getting cold fusion, giving free power to everyone. She was from a vault, or not from a vault. She was living in a vault. If you wanted one that bad, go steal their Gek. Go steal theirs.
What if her and Hank were so romantically involved that Hank injected her with it?
But Hank lost his, so why would Vault Tech then trust him to have another version of it if he lost the one that was supposed to go to Robert House, that is now in the Enclave hands, which has started everything, which is why Cooper is the way he is. That is why the Ghoul acts the way he is. He trusts no one and doesn't care about anyone because he thought he was ending the resource war. All he did was start the nuclear war. Because when the Enclave got...
Right.
Obviously, we still don't know who dropped the bombs. My theory has always been the Enclave did it from the oil rig, which is from Fallout 2.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get that.
I will say that's so far been my favorite part. And I've also... I think I was talking to Kyla about it. It might have been you or Seth. I don't remember who I was talking to about it. I definitely think by the end of this show, the Ghoul dies. And I think it's going to be saving his family as his redeeming factor because he has went from good guy trying to do nothing but save the world to Ghoul bounty hunter for the last 200 years, out for his own, trying to find his family. He finally gets his family. He'll have them back. They'll either not accept him because he's a ghoul or there'll be some kind of reunion. I'm theorizing 2 seasons, 3 seasons down the road. But just with how his character arc has been, I could see his redeemingness of no longer being the cynical asshole also being the thing that gets him killed. Whether it's a bullet or he's got to be the one to flip a switch to blow up Mr. House or Vault Tech's industry, like whatever. I think that which I know also side plot, because again, I'm theorizing for 3 seasons down the road. My point with that was just I'm loving his character arc and the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when the show ends, I don't think the show can survive without him.
Oh, no, like I said, I think he will die at the end.
At the end of the show.
I don't think he's dying anytime soon. The internet and some theory people think that he's going to turn into... They're called a glowing one. So with ghouls, they turn into a ghoul by being shot up with a shit ton of radiation. Most of them were ghoulified by the nuclear bombs themselves. And then if you don't do whatever the treatment is that they still haven't really told us that Cooper, whatever chemical that is Cooper's doing, for all we know, it could be straight radiation.
Right.
You go feral. But we also know from the games if they get too much radiation, like way too much radiation, they just immediately go feral and turn into a literal glowing green zombie mutant. Not a mutant. They're still a ghoul, but people are theorizing because that mutant put the uranium in his gut that it'll slowly eat at him and he will turn into a glowing one.
Yeah.
I don't think so, just because of how far gone he was towards feral before the mutant got him, but also how close he was to death. That I think that just is going to save him. But the internet's convinced he's going to go feral shortly.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
I don't think so, because like you said, not that he is the main character. I mean, he's one of the three main characters, but not like he's the only main character. But I don't think the show survives without him. He is so much a representation of, like, I always say Lucy and him are the player characters, but he is the more realistic player character who plays the way they want to.
Right.
Lucy is like the player character the company wants you to play as.
The one that always answers yes.
Yes, the one that's always doing the good thing, always trying to be the good guy.
Like in Madden, the one that always answers, do you want to answer, do you want to give a nice answer or a bad answer? It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucy's the one that no matter what will always have a good ending. The Ghoul, you don't know what's going to happen because...
Correct.
Like a player...
Correct.
It seems like every episode, it's almost like a player loading a new save. His attitude can be way different. One moment he's like, fuck them, I'm not helping them. Literally 3 episodes ago, or 4 episodes ago, he had literally said, you want to know who started all this shit, who dropped the bombs, who caused everything? It was Robert House. It was that man in that fucking tower.
Right.
And here he is turning that bitch back on.
Right.
Trying to make a fucking deal with them.
Right.
Granted, like he said to Maximus.
Because in the end, he knows that Robert House isn't the one that also dropped the bomb.
Correct.
So in the end of it, like at a point, he thought it was Robert House. Now he knows it's not Robert House.
Yeah.
So now he knows he had to make it back to Robert House to get what he wanted.
And it's also like he told Maximus, to get this to the good guy, you got to give it to someone really bad first. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, the Ghoul's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. No, he's a pretty good guy. Morally, maybe he's
a good guy that does bad things.
Yeah. The bad guy he was talking about was Robert House. He still acknowledges he's not a good guy, but he's like, I got to use him. I need him.
Right.
We need him.
Right.
Okay. Which I also think possibly that just because I feel like with the humor that is Fallout and the way they seem to write this show, he's going to make this deal with Robert House to find the vault and get to the entrance or whatever. And Lucy's going to be like right there leaving as he's wanting to. I mean, we saw in the trailer that he walks in by himself, but I have a feeling it would be funny to me if she's like running down the steps like, all right, hey, you found me. Let's go.
I hope that
I know
he comes into the building alone by himself, and then without any warning or anything at all, she sideswipes him with the golf cart.
I would love that.
Okay, now real quick, and I'm going to talk while I type, because I know it's phones down, but Matt and Blake and Izzy are on here talking about wrestling, and Matt wants to know opinions on matches, because he's getting ready to start it. So I'm going to type and talk at the same time, because I want to tell him what I thought about it before he starts watching. Yeah. I want to tell him what I thought about it before. He asked what grade we were all giving it. So it's definitely a solid B minus. B minus. Period. Women's Rumble was solid. Not a lot of surprises. Surprise entrance, but the actions of, but the ending was a surprise. But the ending was a surprise. Gunther AJ match was for sure the highlight of the night. Sammy match was okay. Men's Rumble was solid, but not how I would have booked it. Okay. Because I know Matt was probably like, okay, I got Izzy and I got Blake, but I haven't gotten Nick's opinion on this, so I wanted to give it to him before he started watching it.
I will say you didn't mention that Charlotte Flair was in the ring just shy of an hour.
Just shy of an hour.
10 seconds shy of an hour.
She was the Iron Woman of the... I don't know who the Iron Man was.
This article doesn't really have one.
She was in there for an hour. If you Google, they'll have... If you Google Iron Man 2026 Royal Rumble, it'll tell you.
Yeah, because the article I had, granted, like I said, it's almost an hour.
I'm going to guess it was Javon Evans.
All right, this is fucking garbage website. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm withholding my restraint from Googling it myself.
Dude, what the fuck?
It had to have been... it was either Javon Evans or Obafemi.
You might want to Google this yourself because you're better with this wrestling shit.
I think...
Because every article just wants to give me a top 8 of the longest people that have been in there. When I go to 1 and 2, it's Charlotte Flair and then never a fucking dude.
Iron Man of 2026 Royal Rumble. If you go to the Wikipedia for the event, it might give it to you.
I didn't even see a Wikipedia for the event pop up. And also, I will say I get it. Like, it's always been said, the order in the Royal Rumble doesn't necessarily matter. But I also hate that Roman Reigns came in 26 and then won. And it's like, come on now.
Javon Evans was in for almost 41 minutes. And then Obafemi was in for just over 39. And then Cody Rhodes was in for 36. Those were the top 3 guys. But Javon Evans was the Iron Man of the...
Hey, you got it right.
Of the men. And the women... Charlotte was in for an hour, but Sol Ruka was in for 50 minutes.
Damn.
So...
women fucking...
Liv Morgan was in for 44, basically. So they had a couple of women that were in for a really long time. Who was the shortest? We went back to wrestling, but I definitely have something else to talk to you about Fallout. Kari Sane was only in for 1:36 for the women. Braun Breaker was only in for 10 seconds. Because he got stomped and then thrown out.
So, he got stomped, thrown in the ring.
Thrown in and then thrown out.
Yeah, then Oba picked his ass up.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I watched the whole clip on a Twitter clip. It was like a minute long. But yes, more Fallout.
I will say, I was shocked that woman is the mainframe.
Oh, Diane.
The woman's head was the mainframe. Was not expecting that.
All right. Also, I'm glad you said that. That brought up a couple of things. First off, I had to explain it to Kyla because she didn't connect that's who that was at first.
Oh, I knew it.
Because the head was just so fucking weird.
Right, the head was so fucked up.
Which also, I don't know if you saw in the trailer. We'll see that she's still alive.
As the mainframe?
Yeah, like... you see in that trailer for a split second, her like eyes blink or her mouth moves.
No, I saw it in the trailer. Yeah.
But that helmet she's wearing, did it look familiar?
Oh my God! It was the one Robert House put on.
Yeah. So that's also, if you remember me telling you when he put that helmet on, he used that to be the mainframe for his Securitrons. That's how he uploaded his consciousness to.
So that's why they're all so even keeled, because
it's her brain.
It's her brain that they're living on.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I had to explain to Kyla. But the other part that's weird,
which I kind of got when they said that she was the mainframe, I was like, oh, that's why they're all so like even keel, because they're just it's her brain amped to 12.
Yeah.
Like it's her kindness and
her naivety.
Yeah, not even that, but her conformity.
Yeah.
Like dialed up to 12. It's her conformity cuz she's just like, this is wrong. All right.
Or like when Cooper's like, hey, basically he just straight up, he doesn't ever actually say it, but he basically says, I have the diode. He's like, I know how it's being transported. And he's like, what would you do with it? And she's like, oh, I'd give it to the people immediately. And he was like, I'm going to need assurances. And she's like, oh, I know. I wouldn't give it to me. I know how I am.
Yeah. It was, but yeah, no, I was shocked to see her head sitting there. Misty watched the episode with me this morning.
Has she seen any of
She's not seen any of Fallout. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and watch this. Do you care? And she's like, nah, I don't care. So I'm watching it, and a couple of times she asked questions, and a couple of times I explained to her what was going on, and we got about 40 minutes in, and she's like, oh fuck, now I have to go back and watch the rest of it. I was like,
it is such a good show.
Didn't mean to do that to you. Like, we can go back and watch it together, I guess. But yeah, no, she was like, fuck, now I'm invested. Now I'm kind of invested.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so...
but that helmet is how when in the games, if you go to where Mr. House is, his body is cryogenically frozen in a way worse way than Vault-Tec cryogenically freezes people. But he's technically still alive, and he's wearing the helmet. That's how he's mainframed in. So now that begs the question, was there another helmet? Did he make multiple of these fucking helmets? Even though in the games, and as far as we know, we've never been told about them.
I mean...
Or does this say the house died?
This is without a doubt an interpretation of the game. So I think
this isn't, not to be a dick, this is an interpretation. This is continuation of the story.
And
this
says it's based off Fallout.
If you ask the show writers and Todd Howard, who makes the games and is making this TV show, it is a continuation of the canon of Fallout set in the universe. They said the whole reason that they won't touch the ending of what happened at the end of New Vegas is because whatever they say is the canon for the game.
I still have to believe that it seems to me, maybe he made multiple ones, but it seems to me like, unless, I mean, he could have made one for himself and he could have made one for Vault-Tec.
That's my
Vault-Tec used theirs to chop this poor lady's head off and put it on her.
I was gonna say
how are they keeping her head alive?
Good fucking. How did they keep Bud's brain alive?
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, at least it was in a bubble.
She's in a fishbowl.
She was not in a fish. Was she?
She's in a bowl.
I didn't think she was in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
I thought it was just her head.
No, she's in a bowl.
I could have swore it was just her head sitting on a fucking table, looking like she needed an apple in her mouth, like she was a fucking pig.
No, she's not. She's not in a bowl, but she's got shit connected to her. She's got tubes and shit.
She's got two. Oh.
She's got a feeding tube.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes...
What did I see that made me think she was had it, or she?
I didn't think she was in a bowl, but I was... I also
and I've watched this 3 times.
Yeah, I watched it twice, but I was like, I didn't think she was in a bowl.
They've now classified her, because of this episode on the wiki, as race, human, and then underneath it, post-war cyborg.
I wouldn't call her a cyborg.
I wouldn't either.
I would call her a dismembered head, but I wouldn't call her a cyborg. I thoroughly enjoyed that, though, only because I was like, okay, now it makes sense why she's been on here a few times.
I was going to say that.
Like,
that was
she really
something
didn't make sense, and then but I love how it comes all full circle. I hope they made more than one. I hope that without playing any of the video games and not knowing any of that. I hope they made more than one. I hope House isn't dead. I hope he's frozen. Maybe.
I personally want them to choose an ending, and I get it pisses everyone off, blah 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 blah. But all right, they've repeatedly said this is canon. Whatever happens in this show is what has happened before in the universe. Because they also said Fallout 5 will still be in the canon universe, but will have everything that happened in the TV show in it and characters from the TV show in it. So you got to pick a fucking ending. Like,
right. You got to end one story to start telling another.
Yeah, I get it.
It's the same story, but you have to end this arc to continue with a new arc.
Yes, and it's also in order to fully flesh out the story and to fully flesh out everything that happened in New Vegas, not the game, but everything that happened in Vegas post-war, before the war, after the war, to tell the whole story of Robert House, to tell the whole story of Vault-Tec, you have to tell the ending. You have to tell us what happened.
Right.
Like,
right.
I get it. And the whole ordeal is the New Vegas fan base specifically are rabid dogs. Like, you talk about trolls, and not that they're trolls, but you talk about the aggressiveness that trolls have on the internet and how, like, diehard and go for the throat they are. That's the New Vegas Fallout fan base. Mm-hmm. They are, and the other big issue is technically Bethesda and Todd Howard didn't make that game. They hired Obsidian, an outside publisher, to make that game, who also at that time had one of the original creators of the first two Fallout games working at Obsidian. So a lot of people have a personal internet head theory that Todd Howard despises New Vegas, and that's why he won't give us answers. We've never gotten a remaster. All up until this TV show, he has never spoken about New Vegas. So I understand why he's doing what he's doing because of how the fans are, but also at the same time, like I said, you need, like you said, you need to end an arc in order to continue on to the next one. And to tell the whole story of Fallout and to tell all of the backstory and all the lore, which is everything everyone loves about this game and this universe, you got to choose one.
Yeah.
It's just like with 4, but no one bitches about 4 if Bethesda chooses whatever the canon ending is because no one cared about the story for that game.
Right.
The story wasn't super good. Everyone loves the story for this, so it's a fucking issue if we choose which one's official. Even though that doesn't mean you can't play the other fucking endings. It's just like every other game. Like, Red Dead Redemption, considered one of the best story-based games. It has 2 endings, a good ending and a bad ending. Just because you got the bad ending doesn't mean that the good ending didn't happen and that's not the real story that happened. And just because you got the good ending doesn't mean someone else can't play the bad ending and still have just as fun of a time and have just as an amazing of a story.
Right.
I just hate the fucking stupidity that is going on with this.
Yeah, or you could have like the Clue movie and you could have 6 endings.
Yeah, or do that. They could give us multiple endings and like not give it canon, not like establish an official one by just being like, hey, kind of like how Cooper was in the backstory or the before the war. He tells Diane, the fucking congresswoman, yeah, Vault-Tec is trading Robert House for the cold fusion so Robert House can live forever. In return, Robert House is giving them the bombs. That ain't fucking true. We know that ain't true, and we know now Cooper knows that ain't true. But you can use that same kind of storytelling to tell the different backstories and the what ifs without actually having it. Have someone be like, yeah, this happened. This random dude came in. He went up to the Lucky 38, and all of a sudden the Securitrons went offline, and then they rebooted again. That could mean House won with the Platinum chip. That could mean we killed House and took over for ourselves and rebooted them.
Yeah.
You can give it.
It could mean several different things.
You can give us somewhat of an ending and talk about the different stories without canonizing it and also still giving a backstory of Vegas.
So when's Fallout 5 supposed to come out?
We don't know.
Well, and that
I'll put it this way. Elder Scrolls 6 is supposed to come out. and Skyrim, which is Elder Scrolls 5, came out 15 years ago.
Okay.
I was in fucking middle school when it came out.
They can't kill the ghoul if they expect for him to be in Fallout 5.
They didn't say who was going to be in Fallout 5. They just said characters from the TV show will be in Fallout 5. And technically, he's already in a video game, wasted in Fallout 76, which I've bitched about multiple times.
So, yeah. So, anyway, there's that. So,
I'm definitely, to close it out, I'm very curious to see... How do I want to put this? I want to know what's going to happen with the Hank at the end of this episode. This next episode. I am convinced, just on my own personal head theory, and I have no evidence or fucking anything for this, but I think Hank's gonna die. I think he needs to die. There's no way we can drag it on with him running away and escaping, and there's no way they leave him just locked up down there.
I think he puts his head in the oven.
I was gonna say, I think he either puts his head in the oven or kills himself in some way, or the ghoul's going to, the moment he gets his family back, just put a bullet through his fucking head.
I don't think the ghoul gets his family.
Oh, I don't think he's going to either.
I don't think his family's where he thinks his family is.
Well, we saw where his family is.
We saw the plates. We didn't see them.
Correct. I don't disagree with you there.
We saw the plates. We didn't see them.
I won't disagree with you because it would be very Fallout.
It would be very TV show in general, sci-fi in general.
Yes.
Storytelling in general, that they show up and then lo and behold, those two pods are empty and it ends up that they're being held hostage by the Enclave or something, and then that's where we're going for season 3.
Which would make perfect sense. Because we still need to see that snow facility where Ziggy came from.
Yeah, so I think that...
Because that's also... I was telling Kyla about this. That is the only place we have ever seen snow in Fallout in any of the games.
Oh, was that just that part in the show?
The part in the show. Because everything takes place in Boston and D.C. during summer times. The only time they add snow is during Christmas when they want to do a winter update. And then everything else takes place in the fucking desert. We've never seen snow. And somehow he was close enough to be, which granted, Grand Staff in Arizona, the fucking mountains out in Cali.
I think he was in Alaska.
That is a possibility. I'm not disagreeing with that. The only reason I say he's close is because at least with the way they cut the scenes, which obviously it can be many weeks, months, or whatever in between the scenes, I assumed he was close by because it didn't look like he had grown a beard or anything. He didn't look too disheveled. He looked like he had been running for a minute, but not like he was been out from Alaska all the way down to fucking where's it's Santa Monica, because that's right where fucking Vault 33 was. You can see the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah. So,
which also though, it works for you too, or the thought process still would work because also it's the Enclave. While they're not as tight as and connected as the government thought they would be post-war, they all still are the Enclave. So if he shows up to another Enclave facility with any kind of identification before they put that wanted poster out, because we watch when it gets put out, he could easily have gotten a shave, gotten a shower, and not look disheveled by the time he got down there. So thinking about it now, it could work if he was still up in Alaska.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
I feel like I had something else, but I've lost it.
Nice. Perfect. Where are we at?
About an hour, and I'm going to say 12, because I think we got like 30 seconds to a minute to cut out from the beginning.
You got anything else?
I don't think so. I'm waiting for my secret lair drop. Whenever that comes, I'll unbox those.
I don't think so. I've got Fallout comes out, a day earlier?
Yes, this last episode and this episode comes out instead of Tuesday at midnight, or technically Wednesday, it's Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Okay.
Which is the same.
We got 2 more episodes or one?
One.
Just one?
One. The whole big thing was last episode and this episode technically came out Tuesday
Earlier.
at 9. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which the first episode of the season they did the same thing.
I don't watch them until Sunday morning anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I normally watch them late too.
So.
And I know fucking Brad's had his. We've all had our comments about it. I don't understand it why they do shit like that. Like I get it's supposed to release on Wednesday, so Wednesday at midnight makes sense. Why are you doing 3 of the 8 episodes Tuesday at 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
What is that fucking change?
Yeah, what is that? What does that do for you? Yeah.
Besides, it gives some people the cable television experience where you feel like everyone's sitting on the couch at 9 to turn it on.
Right.
But even then, no one's fucking doing that.
Yeah. I
Shit,
would be
most of the time,
interested
if I am watching it when it comes out, I'm on my phone at work.
I would be interested to see how many people actually do that. But yeah, no, I get it. Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll be able to, and I know they release all the episodes at once, but maybe we'll be able to discuss Wonder Man. I only watched the first episode. I probably won't watch any more than that until I know you guys have started watching it. And then, because once I start, I'm afraid I'll binge it, and I don't want to binge it and be too far ahead or forget what happened. 'Cause I don't want to have to rewatch it.
I won't say I don't want to have to rewatch it until I see it, because it could be somewhere it's like, man, I really fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it has gotten it was like 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I was gonna
they say it's really good. They say it's really good, but I'm hesitant to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it, because then I'll just rewatch it again. I don't want to be in that position. I did watch the first episode. It was very character building, so not a lot happened. Not a lot of a little bit of backstory, a little bit of this is who these guys are. But again, the episodes are only like 35 minutes long, so it's not like you're gonna get a whole lot of that shit. I fucking
hate that.
So they're only like 35 minutes long. So 40 minutes.
I was gonna say, to give you an idea, and unless Brad is like, oh no, I'm enjoying it, I want us to like talk about it or whatever, I'm not going to start it till after the podcast that we talk about Fallout.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought, was that after Fallout's done, then we'll hit Wonder Man, because I'm
going to say, I'll watch next episode's probably 5, or next week's episode probably like 5 fucking times by Sunday, so I won't have time for Wonder Man.
Right, which is totally understandable. So, so make sure you like, share, subscribe. Savini Comics on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, Conchu's Fist on TikTok and Twitch. Just don't forget to tell your friends. Keep those comments coming. We love to hear from you guys, and we love all the fun stuff, all the comments and things like that. So keep them coming for sure. I'm Nick.
I'm Levi.
And this has been Pints and Pages.